All the leaders have been like that, and I think that was terrible. I used to argue with Brown and Blair about this, because if I give you an example, Danny says information. Yes, press will find ways of information. That's how they get the stories, but not in the way of telephone tapping. Now, this is the same, I think, if you find in this information. There'll be relationship. Do you have Christmas dinner together? Do you get close together? In the Blair-Brown...
Is that healthy? Is that healthy?
No, it's not healthy.
John, we've got pictures of Tony Blair. I will, but just because we've got pictures of Tony Blair with Rebecca Brooks, as she was for Rebecca Wade. But then, why was that useful? No, but why was that useful to have such a close relationship as you were describing?
I've got an answer now.
Yes.
Yeah, well, what I'm trying to say to you is that in my experience with Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, it was a difficult relationship from time to time, as the press often reported on. But it got more difficult when one would say to me, say, Gordon, I'm telling you what Blair's telling you is not right because I've got this information. And then the other would do that. Where did they get it from? Rebecca Brooks. How the hell does this woman get that kind of information? She plays off in politics. It's not as if they have a meal together. They get political. They've got a purpose.
Well,
and they want to find it.
She was the editor of a national newspaper. She's entitled to have a conversation with a politician,
by playing, in this case, too soft. I'm trying to get an agreement between two guys to do X, Y, Z. But it's the tittle-tattle.
Well, I think News International...
might feel that. I'm telling
News
you,
International have got a lot of big questions to answer, but the dysfunctional relationship between Gordon Brown and Tony Blair was their fault, not anybody.
Don't say it was their fault. They get involved. I'm trying to point out how much they get involved in the politics. That's why they want to say it was the Sun that won it. And also, they're already working to their objective politically to get rid of one party and bring another in.
John Prescott,
that's what they did with Cameron, what they did with Kinnock.
Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, like Cameron and Osborne, they've got a message to get across. They want to get that message across, and hence the fraternisation. What they then do with that is obviously up to the newspapers themselves. I mean, even Lance Price in his book said a deal had been done, Blair and his team believed, although with nothing in writing. If Murdoch were left to pursue his business interests in peace, he would give Labour a fair wind. It worked both ways, and it worked, arguably, to the success of New Labour.
Well, I'm not accepting they actually produced New Labour, or indeed produced a Labour government. They believe that. I don't accept it. But they do play that game, there's no doubt about it. And politicians, some of them, actually believe it. That's why they play this game with them.
Do you think, then, the distance should be greater, and that in the sense of Ed Miliband, the current Labour leader, he's employed Tom Baldwin, who was part of the News International stable. Should he not have done that?
Well, I was a bit concerned. I mean, I just think the News International do play that part. And, in fact, I'm very suspicious of most people from News International. I know Daniel, sitting here, he's putting a good case for Murdoch, frankly, the best you possibly can. But it's still a case for the Murdoch role in our politics.
But do you see, that's why I do have some doubts, John, because it sounds like, in a way, this is turning from we've got to clean something up that is very bad and everyone is now aware of it. But it sounds like you just want to get Murdoch, and it's actually, anything's all right as long as it gets Murdoch, because historically,
that's an important point.
Like Murdoch.
Can I correct that? I wouldn't want that to be the position. Murdoch is in the docks at the moment because of Mulcair and all the evidence against him. But I would ask you to go to the Thomas Commission that said in 2008, right, that they pointed out that 30 papers were involved, 300 journalists were involved in doing illegal forms of getting access to information.
Let me
so this is bigger than Murdoch. It's about the press.